Shalom, and here's a thought for the week. There was a famous rabbi who was a physician, a rabbi who gave, I think, 3 classes a day to the most advanced Talmudic students. And yet, his name was the Rashba, they called him. And he would also take a leisure walk, 15 minutes a day, I think in the garden, and was really leisurely. We used to be able to walk very leisurely. And this is a story within a story. Once Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson was about to leave on a dangerous mission to Moscow. And his train was leaving, and he was going, I believe, to raise money for the underground Jewish schools in Russia, communist Russia. And the KGB, they were all watching him very closely. And whenever he used to go to Moscow, especially, they would be extra scrupulous about watching every move Rabbi Schneerson did. So obviously, a normal person, they have people that before they take a flight, you can't talk to them the day before, right? Because they're always nervous. What's going to happen? I have to be there 3 hours before. Everyone's different about this, but most of the time people are pretty nervous on the day of a trip. So here he is, the previous Rebbe, sitting in his office, and his son-in-law, who would later become the 7th Rebbe of Chabad, walks in and sees him poured over some books, and was, I believe, writing a letter that took a lot of deep concentration. And his son-in-law, the Rebbe, our Rebbe, was blown away. Here he is going on a dangerous mission. He has to be at the train maybe in like a half an hour, and he's deeply concentrated as if there's nothing else going on in his life. And he couldn't hold himself back and says, I know, about concentration. It's like, so much so? How could you do this? And he said, there's something called success in time. And he gave the example given is this great rabbi who took the leisure walk 15 minutes a day. The idea is, how could he take that 15-minute leisure walk when he had to prepare classes? He was a doctor, many patients. How did he do it? And the simple answer is like this. Whatever he was doing at that moment, he was completely involved with that, and that's it. The whole idea of multitasking, that's not true. The idea is, you do one thing and you're focused on it completely, and then you move to the next thing, you're focused on it completely. When the Rebbe talked to you and you had a private audience with the Lubavitcher Rebbe, people always came out saying they felt like they were the only existence in the world when the Rebbe talked to you. That's the key. So when he is treating a patient, that's the only existence in the world. When he's teaching a class, that's the only existence. When he's preparing the material, that's the only existence. And when he's taking a walk, that's the only existence. And this is the idea of how we're supposed to live our life. And if you think about it, the very moment that you're living right now, God's creating you every single second. He creates you, he creates the world and the floor, the earth that you walk on. And he's creating that time and space every single moment. So that moment needs to be used to its fullest. That means putting yourself completely into every moment that you live. And then wherever you are, you're living a true life because you're living it. One time they were singing a song quickly at a Hasidic gathering. The students couldn't wait to hear the Rebbe Rashab share more words of Torah. So they were singing fast, and he stopped them. He says, why are you singing? Even a preparation for the next thing is not a preparation. It is itself something. Every moment in life is unique. And this is the lesson that we have from here. Once there was a fellow who wanted to move to Israel, the Holy Land, the Chassid of the Tzemach Tzedek. And the Tzemach Tzedek told him, make here Israel. What is Israel? The Holy Land. Make your environment, wherever you live, doesn't matter where you live. Make that environment where God put you, by divine providence, into a holy place. How? By learning Torah, giving charity, right? Doing a mitzvah, putting on tefillin for men, lighting Shabbat candles for women, using the mikveh, keeping kosher, helping someone. Make here the holiness of Israel. And when each of us uses every part of their being, our thought and our speech and our action, and is totally involved, and does it every time of the day, that brings about the time of Mashiach, when the world will be filled with the knowledge of God like the water covers the seabed may come speedily now. Amen. May these days of the 3 weeks be transformed that would lead up to the Tisha B'Av, the temple, the day of the temple's destructions from the Romans and the Babylonians, should be transformed to days of joy, as Jeremiah says, with the coming of Mashiach. Now, Amen. Have a wonderful Shabbos.